Alrighty, my friends, hello there, welcome back, thank you for joining me, and welcome in to Season 2, Season dos of this little, I guess it started off as a beginner's tutorial and has turned into kind of a little bit of a let's play here, but yeah, regardless of whatever this is we're doing, welcome back and thank you for joining me. We are in now, Season 2, Episode 1, and what we're going to do in this season is that we are actually going to construct what I have called the mothership. Whether or not, now I don't know the answer to this. I don't know if the mothership is going to act as kind of my capital ship that we can use to go hunt down other stuff. Don't know about that. It is, I suppose, possible that the mothership is actually going to serve as the spawn point, the spawn area for a base or a server that I am thinking about starting up for us. So that we has a place to come and play the space engineers together. But who knows? We don't know just yet. As of right now, it's just this silly looking hexagonal type of thing. So he has quite a lot of work to do. So I tell you what, we already talked enough. What we're doing, now if you've noticed in the update, the last update that we have, something that is very interesting, that is not the conveyor sorter. We're going to spend a number of episodes on the conveyor sorters. We're going to talk about the different systems that we can run with that guy. But yeah, so the one of the most interesting things is that we now have the implementation of oxygen and ice, so that we can use the oxygen generators to get the ice to get the oxygens. So that is a pretty, I think, a neat little thing that we have going on with that. So, with that in mind, you see what we have here. We have the large mining ship, and we have created kind of a docking bay, at least the beginnings of a docking bay for her. And so the things that we have to think about for this docking bay, obviously this button right here is going to toggle on and off. This button obviously runs the catwalk so that we can actually go access the ship here. So the second button, the number 2 guy right here, it's going to toggle the lock of the connectors so that we connect the large mining ship into what will be our conveyor system. And then the first one right here is just going to run the pistons that is actually going to connect everything to the ship. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. And so I do want, while these guys retract, I want to point out the one thing. I originally was trying to use these armor blocks, just the normal armor blocks, when I was using the piston guys, and I was getting quite a lot of the sparking and the breaking of the blocks and all that type of thing. So I'm flying up here to show you a couple things. One, that there is gravity here. But no, mostly not the gravity. One, that there's no damage done to these guys, and secondly, that by using the blast doors, which do not sit as an entire block, they actually have a little bit of leeway that they give to you here. You can use the pistons in very close proximity and not actually damage anything. So we have all of our little pistons. We have all of our connectors here for the large ship that are kind of locked away or hidden away using that idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend them back out now. You notice that I think that this guy has drifted just a little bit. So the one neat thing about this mini connectors is that they're actually kind of going to push and pull the ship into what they need him to do. So I think we're actually going to see him shift over just a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of shifting going on right there, which is kind of neat as well. Let's see if we have any damage that was done to the ship up here. Does not look like it. Maybe just a touch right here. Not too bad. We still have to talk about this project, but we will get to that otherwise. Okay, so this is actually damage from a different thing that I did earlier, so do not pay attention to that, because this is not actually the fault of the Pistons. This was actually the fault of the Romedy. So I tell you that story while we're looking here. What I actually did, I I had these guys locked, all of those connectors locked on, and then I hit the wrong button on this panel so that we retracted all of the pistons instead of locking them in place, which we just did. I retracted them all, and so it ended up tearing half of everything apart up here. So not a very good idea. I would not recommend. Excuse me. I would not recommend you doing that. It was just not generally a very good idea, is what it was not. So. Okay, so enough of the doggy. So what we're doing over here is that we are working on what is going to be our catwalk out to there. Is what ideally what we kind of want to happen here. Now, something I am not aware of is why I'm getting these red places now. I don't think it has anything to do with those blocks, but just for maneuverabilities. Or I can miss the hole. That is fine too. Let us fly back up and try again. Try again. But yeah, I don't understand what I doing. It placed on the other side just fine. And now that I am... So this, to me, makes absolutely 0 sense. I don't understand what just went on there, but okay. I suppose it's because these guys act as if they are a full block, even though they are not anywhere close to a full block. Kind of interesting there, I suppose. Kind of interesting. Okay then. So something that we want to do is we want to get these guys going on here. Doing all of this in orange, you notice. All of this so far here in orange, except for this gray outline here. So let's we go ahead and do this part again. That was one too far. Okay. And tell you what, for the piston guys, just for the sake of continuity with the piston guys, we're going to do exactly this same thing again down here. So keep in mind that all of these blocks that we are lining around right here are actually in motion. Well, maybe not this part right here, but these pistons right here, they are in motion with everything out there. So that's why we're wanting to be a little bit careful with how we treating them, at least on the side kind of down there, because these things are going to be in the moving. So so now I'm curious a little bit if I can... Okay, so I can actually do that, which is interesting. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this guy, rotate him around a little bit. What I want... Actually, that worked just fine. Just like that, I think. So we carry this guy out a little bit. And actually, we're going to carry him all the way out to there. A little bit piping is what we're looking forward to right there. And then here, I think, as long as this will allow us to do so, let's go ahead and get this block like that. We get the heavy one. Heavy one going on. And now here, hopefully, I'd be okay to just go ahead and place this guy like that. Okay, cool. So now that we have quite a lot little things built, let's go get into the builder guy. Let's come on down here and let's go ahead and just get this little bit welding out the way. Occurs to me that I have some blocks that are buried in there that I am probably going to have to do by hand, but that's not a big deal, I don't think. It is doable at any rate. Okay, so let's come up on to the top of this guy now. Rotate the camera around a little bit. There we go. While he does this, I get a little bit coffees. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. There's going to be a couple of these guys down here underneath of this guy that we're going to need to deal with. Right here they are. Nosy on up to them. we're actually going to come up here a little ways. I know that I have lots of the framework over there, but I'm not convinced that that framework is actually what I want it to be come to the end of it. So we're going to leave him alone for right now. Okay, so that's not too bad. Let's go over here. Yep, I thought about that in the middles. Let's see here. The interior plates, they can go away. I'm going to need maybe 20 of those guys and then lots and lots of the steel plates. So we shall just get to that. Let's fall down here. Door is already open, which is nice and convenient. Let's just see. Let's get these guys done first since they're already here. So, I kind of like to know what you think. If we was going to have a server here, and if we was going to make a spawn, do you want the Romedy place to be the spawn, or do you want him to have like this mini kind of 100-hour head start on everybody else? Because to be honest, that's not to seem real fair. But you know, I do kind of like this idea of having the neutral spawn point where you know, nobody can really do the damage to anything. Nobody can do the fighting. You know, it would be a problematic kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that type of thing just yet. So we might have to have conversations about those things. It just occurred to me that I was going to put lights in here, and I did not leave myself anywhere that I could actually put the lights. So kind of failure on my part right there. That was actually a pretty massive failure on my part. So, oops. Oops, as they say, I did a whoops. Well, okay, there. Sorry about that. You guys know that there's general rule when I do dumb things. I try to make sure I show you the dumb things that I did. So just so you know, what I actually did is I removed this singular block right here that actually is attached to the pistons. And by doing that, I dropped the entire platform, the entire piston platform went ahead and fell away. And I ended up having to rebuild this guy. And if I was smart, if I was an intelligent person, what I would have done is I would have replaced these with the orange, and I didn't. I replaced them back with white the way I had to. So we're just going to leave it like this. It's done. I don't care. I'm not fighting with this guy anymore. This is the way that he is. He's going to be. It's just that's just the way it is. That's just the way it. That is the way it is. For Walter Cronkite fans, that's how old I am. Yeah, for most of you, you're now running off to Google. You're going, Walter Cronkite. Who is this Walter Cronkite? He was a guy, and that's about all you need to know about him, unless you have like a U.S. civics class or something where it is important to know who he was. I don't think that is actually the case. Enough about him. No, yeah, so enough about him. We need to go back to this guy. So as you're seeing. We nearing here what is the beginnings anyway of our little airlock, which is what we were aiming for in the first place. And so now the thing that we must do about the airlock is we need to choose the coloring that's going to go in the other direction. The airlock is going to be this nice white little area in here. I think that would be ideal, so we're going to keep that. Now the oranges over here is going to lead us into what is the ship. So we actually can remove this guy because we're not seeing him anywhere, and it's kind of disrupting what we're actually doing. So now I need to go back to orange, and now I need to go get to my heavy armor block again. That was easy enough though. Let's make sure that you don't actually... I don't think you'll see that block anywhere, but let's actually make sure that is... Oh, okay, so no, you don't see him anywhere. What you do see is to the outsidey there, though. So that actually does need to change. Do I still have this set up? Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's just do this guy. We'll just go along like that. Come here, little build a ship. We're going to, later on in this year, we're going to build another versions of the U, smaller, a little quicker, and completely unmanned. Yeah, that's right, we're going to build the unmanned little builder vessel. The only problem I have is I still don't have a remote way to place blocks, so I cannot literally just sit in a control chair and do absolutely everything that I am wanting to do. I still have to come out and manually place the blocks. Now I can build the guy from other places, but I cannot place. Now let's go back in here and take a look. Okay, good. So this is now no longer breaking seal out there, even though we are open to space right here, which is kind of okay. We have this little hallway that runs out, and now just to make sure that we're not actually going to break anything, I tell you what, let's go ahead and save our game. Let's go ahead and punch this guy. Let's make sure we're going to actually leave out without damaging too much of the things in there. Going to make it out here to our ship. This is pretty neat, I think. We're going to talk about those sensors back there in a little bit. I'm still working little bits on them. I think they're not quite finished. Okay, so this seems like it's okay. Let's come back here and take a look as well. We don't seem like we're having any of the damages here, so this is good. And now finally let's go to here. So one thing we are going to want to do is on the bottom of this guy down here, we're going to want to add so that this does not break a contain, which ultimately probably not such a big deal, but yeah, very cool little thing. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's get the next thing we need to do is we need to actually finish the room here. We need to actually finish our airlock. Now remember, the game now has the oxygens. And so we want to be kind of aware of what we're doing with it in terms of the oxygens. So we're going to make what is a 3x3 little room here real fast. Kind of like this. And now I want to know, you're a little too close here, builder guys. Let's move you away. We want to know what is the color that the next of our rooms, I got all disoriented, there we are, is going to be, and I think that we're going to adopt kind of this light gray. Maybe that is a little too drab for most people. Maybe we do this kind of darker gray right there. And something that we need to go get then, we want to get number 4. So let's get the 4 guy. So here's this door that's going in to go right here. And so since this is going to be leaving out of here, we use the heavy armor blocks on that side. This is the interior of the ship. And so I feel like we can use the light armor blocks right here. And so that'll just kind of go around that doorway. And now, obviously, on the either side of this guy, we're going to want to be careful. Let's go get, how many plates do I have? I have 92 of the plates. So let's get a couple hundred more plates. There we go. Somebody very kindly in my comments pointed out that if I either shift or control clicky, I can do 10 or 100 of those things, and I had missed that initially, so very nice of that person. I appreciate that very much. I just made use of your little trick right there. I hope that you saw me do that, and you were like, hey, I told Romedy how to do that. Because you did. Okay, tell you what, that's enough of the hand things. Let's come down here now. Let's just nosy on up to this guy, and let's get this welded. Very cool, very cool, very cool. That antenna I'm going to have to be moving in the near future, I think, but that is okay. Okay, so now we have what is kind of the functioning airlock here. Let's get one more. You need to actually be under white. Let's get one more block right here. Okay, and now the white block actually can go ahead and we can place him just like this on either side of this guy. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. And now something that I am going to do in the airlock room, we want it to be very well lit. And actually for that we're going to need ceilings. Do I want the airlock to be too tall? Actually, I kind of thinking I do want it to be too tall, like so. Tell you what, we're just going to do this. We're just going to make him a box. We just make him a box like that. Now while I has at least a little bit of the death from the gravities. We're going to come back up here now. Well, it has at least a little bit. Did I get to the right to gray? Yes, I did get to right to gray. Okay, so now I can enter into this door. There we go. That one needs to be closed. If this one over here open, not that it really matters right now because there's no atmospheres of any kind. We're going to make these lights black, I think. So let's go ahead. We line the sides here with the lights. Really, I can't reach. I can place him, but I can't reach him up at that. Really. Yeah, we do this. Actually, I'll tell you what. Because I like to be able to name my things as best as I can. Let's go over here to my little chair. So you see how I originally maneuvered this guy into place, huh? Okay, let's go in here. So into the menu then, the broken lights, which are going to be way down here. There we go. Okay, so all of these incomplete lights right here, these are going to be a mothership. I tell you what, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to call this mining airlock. Lights is all we're going to do with those guys, and since we have them kind of saved, let's do we really want to change the colors on any of these guys, like for any reasons at all? Do we want to do that? I'm not convinced we do. But since we already here, let's play around with maybe getting these guys kind of to the orange. Yeah, so I liked that. Okay. Back into missing and falling to my death. There's nothing to fall and kill me down there, but still you understand my point. Let's go back into the airlocks here then. Okay, and now we... tell you what, I wonder if I just weld on the top of this. If this is actually going to do those lights for me. So let's find out the answers to that. Tell you what, Romedy, you just loaded up your question gun. Let's go find the answers to that, huh? So that did not complete my box over here, so let's hop out of him. Let's go get the white again, and let's go place, not you. Let's go place that block down right there, and now we're going to come up in here, and there. And I tell you what we do, we go on over here to the other sides of this guy. Even now this is getting little close quarters, that's okay. And nosy on up. Excellent. Okay there, so now let's go ahead and take a little look into our guy right here. I think we are going to adopt a little bit of the pathing by colors, and so we're going to do that a little bit. We illustrate a little bit how we do that right here. Kind of a neat concept, I think, so that you know where you're going, basically based on the colors that are on the floor. You're going to know where you are headed to, much like in the hospitals. So we're going to come down here. Now we just weld these guys real fast. I'll show you what I'm talking about so you have a visual. So if you're heading, and really maybe I should make these guys the orange, huh? But if you're heading for the orange, that means you're heading for the mining bay, and kind of neat concept. So we work on that maybe later. So these lights did not get finished. That's kind of disappointing. That's okay. We do him real quick. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, if I wanted to really be fancy, what I could do in here is that I could have these lights have different colors, the orange and the green, based on what's going on with the doors. So if I really wanted to, and I had both of the doors closed, then I could go ahead and switch these lights to green, and then I can go ahead and go out here to the ship lock where I wanted to go, which is kind of cool. And now when I come back into this guy, we have to lock this door first. And then ideally in here we probably are going to put the oxygen tank so we has the oxygen generations going on. And then what we do is we leave out into the rest of the station from that idea right here. And then what kind of what I was thinking is we have a little observational deck right over here, and then what's going to go next on this guy is actually going to be where we're going to extend that landing gear to actually lock him to better lock him into place. And so I think we're probably going to do that in the next episode, since our goal for this guy was to go ahead and get ourselves the working. Owie. That hurted it. Okay, well, I tell you what. We're going to use this as the example of what we do, since the only medical station that I have is actually over here on the ship. So, for purposes here, we've been injured. I fell over here and injured myself because I am a moron. What I need to do is I need to make it onto the interior of the station. I need to make it over there to the big blue monstrosity. And to do that, what we do is we have to use the airlocks. So the station itself is going to have the oxygens. We come in here, and then we're going to unlock the next part of the airlock so that we can make it outside. We come up here to our little extendable platform, and now this will extend us out so that we have access to the ship so that we can actually board the guy. We're making ourselves like an actual working kind of a hangar slash dock for this large ship that we have, and then we fall to our death, apparently. Oh, and then we respawn in the medical room, and that's how you get respawn in the medical room, and that is how we get our health back, huh? That's what we're doing here. Oh boy. Oh, how foobar is that? And now I'm going to do it again, apparently. Now I'm going to do it again. So can I just run across? I can no longer just run across into this place, which tells me that I need to actually access into oh, I need to fix the bottom there too, don't we? Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay. I lost what, a little construction components and about 1,000. No, not even that many steel plates anymore, is it? That's okay. Not upsetting. Yeah, so in here then, what we're wanting is, we're wanting this catwalk, and let's go ahead and extend these guys out another little bit. So now if we go ahead and go straight over here to the mining bay, have I crunched into this guy yet? Like, have I done him damage? Yes, I did him a little bit damage, didn't I? Okay, so he actually too far now at this point. So let's come down here onto a single one of these pistons, which I should be able to do, I think, right up in here. There we go. Let's access this guy. Okay, so let's, for you, actually extend you to 5.9, and now we definitely did some damage, but that's okay. Let's actually, I broke my button panel. Oh no, I didn't either. Okay, good. So the button panel is still here. What I did do is I broke, that's no good. That is no good. I broke a refinery. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to fix this damage here then. I'm going to fix this damage, and we come back. I see you next times. Next times, what we're going to do, we're going to work on the locking for this ship so that we can actually lock him into place. So if we need to be moving with the very large ships, the motherships, then we can do that without risk of damaging our guy here. So as always, I appreciate you joining me, and I will see you next time.